welcome to another class. Today we're gonna be talking about hauling. We're gonna cover basically all the hauling ships in the entire game, or at least I'm gonna try to. So it's gonna be a little bit of a longer class, somewhere between 1 hour, 1.5 hour, something like that. But I'll try to keep the pace going a little bit and just cover everything. We're gonna run through all of the hauler types. We're gonna be going into hauling with T1 haulers like this this beautiful ship I'm in here. We're also going to cover T2 haulers, so the deep space transports and the blockade runners, and what they are and what they do. Then we're also going to dive into using ships that, the other ships like Orcas and Bowheads. They're a little bit bigger. And then we're going to dip into freighters and jump freighters too. And we'll have some demonstrations of what happens when people shoot at your freighters and all the haulers and all that kind of stuff. We'll do that too. So there's going to be a couple ships that's going to be get blown up. The more cheap ships. I'm not going to blow up any Tech 2 ships, but I will blow up a couple of normal T1 haulers and see what that does, and how So to start off, there's if you take all of the hauling ships in Eve, you can basically divide them into 3 sections. Actually, you got these Tech 1 haulers, like the Badger. You can pretty easily get a Badger early on. It's a really cool ship. Doesn't cost much. I mean, this is less than 10 million. That's kind of cheap. The way I fitted it is I needed it to be fast, but you can kind of get 10,000 to 15,000 M3 out of this for some, for most normal fittings. And then we have the Tech 2 ships, which are ships like this one. This is a deep space transport, and it has a lot more hit points than a normal Tech 1 ship, and it also has loads and loads of cargo space, because there's like a thing called a fleet hangar in here. You can put loads and loads of stuff in there, like more than 6,003. So that's really cool. And then the other version of the Tech 2 ships is ships like ships like this crane, which is a really cool ship. It's based on the Badger module. It also holds a lot less. You see, it kind of holds the same as a Badger. But if you look at the fitting window, there's something really cool here. It's called a cloaking device. So these things can kind of warp while being cloaked. It can cloak up really quickly. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff you can do with these, and these are basically for getting into areas of space in New Eden that are pretty dangerous, and then you can still get your stuff across. And then lastly, the big ships, so stuff like the Bowhead, like this one, which can it doesn't have a lot of normal cargo capacity, like you can see. Not a lot there, but we can put fitted ships in there, so I can just drag ships in here, and I can, I don't have to repackage them. I can just put them in there. I can head out, and I can move them. And some of them might have really expensive rigs, and I don't want to demolish those. You can use the Bowhead. Really cool ship. And then we of course also have these big ships called freighters, and they're these are basically you can put loads and loads of cargo in them. This one's actually quite some stuff already in here, but yeah, so you can put like a little over 1 million M3 in there of normal cargo, and that's, you know, it's awesome. Yeah, so that's basically the three big differences in, you know, sizes basically, and value that you can, you know, how much the ships cost. So if we go back to the Badger, or at least let me get back to another normal Tech 1 hauler. This is an Ideron. This so we're gonna dive into the Tech 1 haulers. Well, what can you haul with these? Small stuff. You know, they don't have a lot of hit points. You know, it has less than 10k hit points. It's a, you know, it's a really cheap ship. You do have like if you take this Ideron, there's a lot of stuff that you can put in there, but overall, just like the Badger, it's not something that you want to put a whole lot of value in. You know, so anything kind of somewhere in the region of like 50 to 100 mil you could put in like a Tech 1 hauler, and other than that, not so much actually. So, you know, really cool ship for if you just start off with hauling, or you need to move some stuff, you know, then it's all good. There are a lot of different types of haulers, actually, T1 haulers. I'm just going to click on one of them, and you see that we have, you know, at least two different Tech 1 haulers per skill, actually, so per racial or factional skill. So we have the ships like the Bestower, and they're kind of like the Ideron 5 here. These are kind of meant for loads and loads of stuff that you can put into them. So like the Ideron, it'll probably get somewhere, I don't know how much was in here, yeah, somewhere between 30 and 40,000 M3 of cargo capacity. That's really, you know, it's really good. And then the other one, the Sigil, is kind of like the Badger. So if we, I think I have a fitting for a Sigil somewhere here. Quickly grab that. I'll just take this Badger one. Simulate that one. Yeah. So kind of like this Badger, the Sigil is meant for being a little bit quicker. If I've got a couple of screens up here, but I'll try to. So the yeah, the Bestower is, you know, max velocity, but that's, you know, that doesn't do a whole lot for your moving across space if you're just jumping. You know, the Sigil has the inertia modifier, which makes you warp off quicker, which is, you know, if you have to do a lot of jumps, like maybe you have to do 50 jumps, then if the ship can warp off quicker, then that's, you know, it's going to decrease the time it takes you to move stuff across space by a whole lot. So as a rule of thumb, there's always going to be one ship that can fit, you know, a whole lot of stuff, and then the other one fits just, you know, less, but it's quicker. And that's kind of how it goes with most of the ships, actually. So if we're going to look at the Caldari, see, we have the Badger and the Tyra. So the Badger is the one, you know, that's a little bit quicker. The Tyra is the one that has more cargo capacity. And then if you look at the Minotaur one, we have already 3. So there's already one more. So I'm just going to grab these 3 ships here, and I'll go over the differences a little bit. So let's first go into the Mammoth. So the Mammoth is the one with, you know, more capacity, and then the Wraith is the one that can warp quicker, or can go into warp quicker. And this one, this Hoarder, is really cool because it has different and extra cargo bays. So it has a cargo bay for ammo and a cargo bay for gas. So that's really cool, actually. So let me simulate it, actually. Then probably it's going to show me. Yeah, it's going to show me this stuff. So you have, like at max skills, you have like almost a 62,000 M3 cargo hold for ammo. So, if your friends need a lot of bullets or a lot of crystals, laser crystals and all that kind of stuff, put a lot of stuff in there, and also gas. So if your friends have done some gas mining somewhere, you can use this ship, put a lot of stuff in it, and move it to wherever that you need to use it for reactions or building stuff or whatnot, or sell it. So that's really cool. So there's a couple of specialist class ships too, and then if you go on to the Galente haulers, actually, there's a lot of them, and that's really cool. So you got the Ideron that I already mentioned, that has the most cargo capacity, and then we have a couple of others. Just gonna click on them. So this one is again similar like the Badger and the Sigil. It's a little bit quicker to warp off, and then we have these, the Krios and the Epithol and the Miasmos. Now going with this one has kind of a similar thing as the ammo hold, but this one's for mining. So anything regarding mining rocks that you mine, you can put in here. So that's really cool. Or it tends to be quite large sometimes. So it's really cool that you can use this ship for it. If we're gonna, let's see if I simulate it up. How big is it? It's quite big, as you can see. It's kind of always around this number ish, 63,000 M3. It's quite it's quite a lot. You won't be able to put that in an Iteron, so this is really good. Looking at the Epithol, it's as a planetary commodity hold. So that's for your PI planets and everything that you can harvest off of the planet, and the stuff that you produce on the planet. You can all put in here. So that's really cool. And then the last one is for ice and minerals. So if you've harvested or mined all the ore and you've refined it, and now you want to bring back home the minerals, then you can use this, and you can also put ice in here. So there's 2 extra cargo holds in there. So if I look at the attributes here, there's loads of space in the mineral hold, and then you can also put like 45 ice blocks in there, because each ice block is 1,000 M3. So you can move a lot of stuff. So that's pretty cool. And then lastly, we also have upwell haulers, and a little bit newer to the game. And these are meant to put structures or structure modules, stuff, and ammo in it, and fuel and all that kind of stuff. So it has a special, how do they call it? A ship infrastructure hold. So if we load up that, simulate it, and go to the attributes. Yeah, so you have kind of similar size specialist hold to put in. I think it's also stuff like liquid ozone, stuff that gets used by structures, the structures themselves. if you're placing like an upwell structure, you can put the cores in here as well. You know, the modules for the structures, the ammos, missiles, bombs, all that kind of stuff. Fighters, like structure fighters, anything that is upwell or stand up, you can put in here. It also tells you actually in the description, but yeah. So that's really cool. I use these, or at least not this one. I use its Tech 2 versions, but I use these in nullsec all the time because then I can just move all my fuel to my structures and all that kind of stuff. So that's really cool. So yeah, so we looked at, you know, a couple of the T1 haulers. Like I already said, then they're a little bit flimsy in terms of they don't have a lot of DPS, so I wouldn't put a whole lot of value in it. And, you know, it depends on where that you live, of course. Like if you live in a wormhole and you're just flying back and forth from one of your structures to the other, then, you know, it doesn't really matter if you put a whole bunch of thousand in initial, right? Because there's not that much threat to you. But if you go and fly through high sec or low sec or whatnot, then you know, you might want to use some different chips, and then you go into the you know, more Tech 2 ships and stuff like that. So I think it's time that we you know, tell you a little bit about what could happen if you like use one of these and you're not that cautious or careful. Like some people that like to do autopiloting and all that kind of stuff, and sometimes also in haulers. That's not really the best thing to do, actually, because in high sec, you know, even in high sec, people can shoot you, and even worse, they can just they can just easily go and look in what's in your ship, actually, and I'll show you that now. We'll grab a ship that has some scanning equipment. I'm going to undock one of my characters that has some stuff in their cargo hold. So what happens is, you know, sometimes more newer players or players that aren't bothered as much, they tend to just put some stuff in their cargo hold, and they're like, okay, well, I've got like what, 100 mil in my cargo hold. I need to make dinner. I don't want to be fussed about, you know, I need to fly 50 jumps. Let's just put in the route and put it on autopilot. Well, most of the time when you do that, there'll be people along the way that can just do stuff like this. So I'm just gonna target myself at this point. And there are these really nice modules here, like a ship scanner or the cargo scanner, and you can already kind of see what that does actually. So as you can see, I've got my safety on green and I'm in high sec, and I can just do this without Concord saying, hey, you can't do that. So this is like a legal thing to do. Nobody's gonna, you know, nothing's gonna stop them from doing this. And it might take them a couple tries, as you can see. Like every time you do the scanner, it kind of RNGs, like it kind of randomizes what you can see. But this is kind of like how the ship is fitted. So I can already see, okay, there's loads of cargo hold expanders, so there's not going to be a whole lot of hit points. And I've already scanned. You know, I can scan again with a cargo scanner. Maybe I can see a little bit more, maybe not. No, this is kind of what I see. So, I mean, now there's not that much in it, but maybe there's like 140 mil in it, and you know, there's 140 mil in a really flimsy ship, and then they could decide, well, let's set up ambush somewhere along what we think that he's, you know, this person's going to, and then they can just use ships and they can shoot you. So I'll just send this. I'm going to send this hauler to the start point, and I'll grab
Warp drive active.
a ship that some people use to gank other people. I'll show you how
Docking
quick that
permission
goes.
requested. Docking request accepted.
So there's a couple of ships that I'm just gonna grab one for now. I'll show you the other ones in the second section. Loads of people like to use these Tech 1 destroyers like Trashers or Catalysts because they're really inexpensive and they do you know, a lot of DPS over, you know, like this ship is like 4 million or something to buy. There's like 220 DPS. There's not a lot of ammo or stuff in it because it'll die normally. I'm gonna do it in a kind of controlled environment today. I'm gonna do dual lane fights, so I'm not gonna concord myself. But yeah, normally if you use this ship in high sec on another ship, you'll get, you know, concorded. But if you were shooting like a ship that has like 140, 150 million ISK in it, and you only lose like maybe 10 million ISK, but 100 million ISK drops, you know, then you win for the day. And you can give 50 mil to your buddy, and you can keep the other 50 mil. You can buy more ships, and you can do it again. And that's kind of the thing. The rule of thumb is always think about how much it would cost for someone to buy the ship that is needed to destroy your hauler, and you know. So I'm gonna undock. I'm gonna be like normally, you know, if you're autopiloting or normally piloting, they'll have like scout people a couple systems away, and they'll scan you just like I did with the buzzard. They'll probably use something else because they just want to quickly see what you have, right? And then they'll just pass along that intel to people that are like 5 jumps away, and they're waiting there for their buddies to, you know, and then they'll ambush you. So we're going to go to our gang spot.
Warp drive active.
We're gonna So, the situation's set. You're hauling with something that is, you know, too valuable, a ship that's too flimsy, not enough hit points to autopiloting. You're kind of doing a lot of things I would consider a wrong decision. So let's see.
Autopilot engaged.
Put the hauler ship on the autopilot, and it's going to land on grid here. And we're going to shoot
Warping
it.
to Stargate. Warp drive active.
You'll see kind of how fast it's going to melt. So I'm just going to blow it up for you. Because you know, when you're autopiloting, you'll land like 10 to 15 kilometers from the gate, and then you kind of slow boat towards the gate. And that's the time that gankers have to shoot your ship. It's in warp at the moment. Let's get it there. It should be, yep, there it is. So here's our target. It's landing now. And we're gonna shoot it once we can.
Approaching Stargate.
It's already melting along. Loads of stuff. And that was it. There goes all your hard-earned ISK, right? I mean, now it's
Approaching Stargate.
not that
Autopilot
much.
disabled.
You know, I just put some stuff in there just to show you what would happen. But that's how quick it can go, you know, if you were holding.
Warp drive active.
A lot of stuff in ship that shouldn't hold it. So yeah, my rule of thumb for Tech 1 haulers is always like kind of, you know, don't autopilot that's already you know, one thing, unless it's maybe something that's really not valuable. That maybe you are holding, I don't know, command centers for
Docking permission
planets.
requested. Docking
Yeah,
request
you know,
accepted.
if you got like 30 of those in the cargo hold, that's going to be like what, 3 million is. That's not much, right? So nobody wants that. So that you could do that, but you know, if you have like 100 mil in the ship and you're autopiloting, no, bad idea. You know, manual pilot all the time. Then, yeah, and if you really want to um, haul expensive stuff, then please use either a Tech 2 or ask somebody that has a Tech 2. And we're going to go into the Tech 2s right now. So I'm going to walk back to here.
Warp drive active.
Say goodbye to the wreck of the hauler. Yeah, if you have questions, by the way, in between, please feel free to ask them either on voice or in the chat. I'm in chat too. Yeah, so we're going to the T2s, and we're going to dive into like the two different options that you have there. Let's see, let me dock up again.
Docking permission requested. Docking request Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Yeah. Oh, is that a kill mail or a lost mail? Yeah, I have to say I have one too. I think two actually. I was flying in one of my bustards, like these, and I think I had like 5 billion ISK in it, and I got ganked, and I got upset, and I really needed to get the stuff moved, so I bought it again, flew back, and got ganked again, and then I was like, okay, let's try again tomorrow. So it's, you know, too expensive. Lessons learned. Yeah, so for the Tech 2 ships, there's always only yeah, that's also what you can you know, if it's Gargo says in chat that's where jump freighter services are for, that is absolutely correct. If you you know, if it's really expensive, the stuff that you want to haul, and you see no other way for yourself, you can always just make a courier contract, try and get it moved by one of Eve's many good hauling services. So, for the Tech 2 ships, you only have 2 options per faction. You know, if you go in a T2, we kind of looked at like the Galente, that has like loads of really nice options here, and the Mimitar one has the one for the hoarder for the ammo. If you go into T2, that vanishes, sadly. I would love to have a Tech 2 ammo hauling ship or something, but that's just not a thing. So stuff like the Bustard, which is a deep space transport, you know, the way I fit it, I just manual pilot this, you know, or if it's just bulk stuff that's worthless, like maybe I'm hauling, I don't know, 10, yeah, I could haul 10 catalysts in this thing, alright, right? 10 catalysts is worth nothing, you know, it's like 10 to 15 million ish. You can do that, you can haul that on autopilot through HiSec, because no one wants that. No one wants to gank your like 110,000 HP hauler for a potential like 10 million is payout, because that's what it is basically. But otherwise, just, you know, manual pilot. You can put a lot of bulk stuff in here, because you have you've got like the 62,500 M3 in cargo hold in the fleet hangar, and then you can also put another 5,000 in here, so that's really cool. At this point, it doesn't really, it doesn't really matter anymore to put cargo hold expanders on it. It can if you really want to push it to the limit, but I just fit it up for some utility and some more hit points actually. So utility in the sense of that, I wanted to warp off a little bit faster. You see the stats changing. It almost saves me like 4 seconds just with this one module alone. So it's perfect, because then it's less time for me on screen clicking and moving. The warp core stabilizer. Maybe probably many of you already know what that is, but if you let this thing run, you get like a bonus. It's not like an immunity, but you get a bonus strength to your what's it called again? The amount of warp disruption points or scram points that they have to put on you to keep you scrammed. So you'll get like your warp scramble strength is basically increased by 2. So they'll have to use at least 2 warp scrams to keep your ship down. So that's, if they're not prepared for that, then you can still warp off. So that's something I have on there. A cloak. I always put a cloak on it actually. Just so if something really bad happens, I can just try and cloak up the ship. Or if I'm in a system where there is no station, there are systems in like nullsec or even in highsec that have no station, and then you can just warp to the sun or warp to any planet, and you can just put the cloak on and protect whatever is inside your cargo. And then you, of course, the other one, you can fit a probe launcher in it. Maybe you need to go into a wormhole. You can use the probe launcher to, probe the entry hole or whatnot. Let me see what's on the other one. That's it, Tech 2. And you can also put a. Let me just grab the module. Like this is more of like if you go into nullsec and wormhole space. Where is it? Here we go. So you can fit something like this on it, and in wormhole space, and in nullsec, people can put these warp disruption sphere bubbles down, basically like an area of effect. And if you're inside of that bubble or that sphere, you won't be able to warp off. If you tap this module, you're not like warp scrammed or anything, then you can warp off. So that's really cool. So you can fit that on these ships too, the Tech 2 ships. And you will be able to fit that onto the some of the other ships. So this one's more used to do heavy hauling all across Eve. And they're really durable. Like the way I like this one most because I can get loads of hit points out of this one. This one, it's called tanky. Of course, I fitted it up a little bit shitty, but it's less tanky than the other one. But there's also, there's less room to fit stuff. Let me see if I can have. I do think. Yeah, that's the opposite. No, I don't have a different fitting for the moment, but yeah, you can kind of fit them, of course, for tank, but yeah, this one, yeah, there's no difference in the fleet hangar stuff. And then we also have the cloaky ships, and they're really cool, like this one. So for this one, I always kind of use passive resist, because this thing is going to fly cloaked like 90% of the time, so I won't be able to. You can't use activated modules while you're cloaked, and you can kind of put as much valuable stuff in here as that you want actually, and I'll show you why. Like you'll always have to be a little bit cautious with undocking from certain places. Normally you would have like do I actually have that?
Warp drive active.
But normally you could have like a bookmark across from the exit of a structure. You can just warp off there really quickly. These things can warp while being cloaked. The back goes for everywhere in Eden actually. You know you can get decloaked by another ship if they're too close to you. But yeah, you can kind of zip across space.
Warp drive active.
I don't think I want to go there. Let me go to something else. You can kind of zip across space, you know, like this.
Warp drive active.
And you're perfectly safe. You know, no one's going to be able to see you. No one's going to be able to target you. And although, like, you have a really limited capacity on, you know, the cargo, but I could fill this up with like 10 billion ISK and I could feel comfortable going across high sector. Because let me just go to A gate and quickly come back afterwards.
Warp drive active.
Route back already. So the idea behind it is that you just you know, you warp cloak, you go to the gate. Of course, the gate will decloak you, which is the time it takes for the gate to decloak you and you to use the gate. There's almost no time for other people to target you and shoot you because you see you're already gone. But that's good. And you know, if we now just warp to somewhere, let's warp to yeah, let's just warp to the other gate. So you warp to the other gate.
Warp drive active.
I press F1, I cloak up, you're already cloaking up, and you're off. So, yeah, the cloak warp trick. The cloak warp trick works with like ships with like a DSD and stuff like that. And I do have to admit that I'm not that super knowledgeable on how it works. So no, I'm sorry. I will show you another trick with the Orca and the Bowhead a little bit later on. So yeah, this is kind of how you use the blockade runners. You know, you
Warp
cloak
drive
right away.
active.
There's little to no ship that can kind of catch you in between. You'll have to have like the only thing that can probably target you in the time it takes to align a cloak is a remote sensor boosted stiletto or something like that, or an insta-lock gnosis. You know, there's a couple of ships that can, but
Warp drive active.
you'll rarely see that in high sec. The thing is too, I have to mention that as well. This thing has a trick, which is also a little bit of a downfall. It has immunity to all cargo scans. As mentioned here. So that cargo scan thingy trick that I did. You won't be able
Warp
to do
drive
that,
active.
which is really cool because they won't be able to see what's in it. The bad thing is they are not able to see what's in it. So if you have this thing empty, if it's empty and you're on autopilot, they will shoot it regardless. So, this is probably one of the only, not one of the only ships, but it's one of the ships that never autopilot. because they always assume that there's something in a blockade run. So yeah, you always fly in, like I'm showing you right now actually.
Warp drive
Cloak
active.
up right away and just keep going. And that way you can easily transfer 5 to 10 mil or whatnot to Cheetah. Sell it there. There's a question. Run into Cold Cloud on a gate or very dedicated camp with lots of... Yep. Then you will get caught too.
Docking permission requested.
There are people that set up a gate camp on a gate and they use a lot of objects.
Docking permission
on the
requested.
gate to
Docking
find
request
cloak,
accepted.
these particular kinds of ships. So they'll have containers around, they'll have drones out, because any object that comes in, 2,500 meters of the ship will decloak the ship. And if it's still next to you while you want to warp out and cloak, then you will be able to cloak. And I think, like the align time is like 5-ish seconds on this fitting. That's enough time for a frigate to kind of lock you, and then they'll put a scram on you, and then you're in trouble. You don't really see that in high sec though. I've never seen. I mean, there are people that use upwell fighter drones to try and decloak other people. That's a thing, but you can see them. But there's, in high sec, there's not a whole lot of those gate camps with containers all around and drones and whatnot. That's more a low sec and a null sec thing actually. But yeah, that is a possibility, and I've seen them, and some of them are really good, and you'll lose a ship. But yeah, this is still the most safe way to get stuff across. And if you look into the, because we looked into the upwell haulers, you also have T2 upwell haulers, and they do kind of like have the special infrastructure hold, and this is the the blockade runner version of those, of the upwell haulers, and you get like 45,000 M3, so that's really decent. This is kind of my go-to hauler when I'm in nullsec and I'm resupplying my structures and all that kind of stuff, because it's quick, stealthy, and I got enough space to do the things that I have to do. And let me show you the other one too, because that's the deluge. And if we simulate that and then look at the stats again, oh, it has the same. Does it have the same? No, it's the torrent. I'm terribly mistaken. It is the torrent. The stats. Yeah, so then you have loads of space. You've got like double spaces. The amount of space you get in the deluge. Yeah, you can easily put larger sized structures in this thing too, to deploy them, because I think if you look at like a Fortizar and how big it is, like the attributes of a Fortizar, it is, how big is it? I missed it somewhere. Oh, here it is. 80,000. So you can fit the Fortizar in there. I don't think that you can fit the core in it as well, but the core goes in later. So this really small ship can carry the Fortizar into wherever it is that you need to have it. You can brick tank it. You can make it work faster, all that kind of or align faster. All that. Yeah, you can also make it more faster actually. But yeah, this is really nifty nifty device, because otherwise back in the day we needed to use a freighter to deploy a Fortizor, because there was nothing else that could fit, you know, 80,000 M3. Yeah, an Orca. An Orca can probably fit that too if you fit it correctly. There's a question, a mention in the chat about structure fighters and decloaking people. I think that is true. I don't know exactly if you can still decloak people with them. Probably not. Yeah, they changed it, so you can no longer decloak people with it. That's good. Yeah, yeah, you know, they still can decloak you if they use loads of drones, but I haven't seen that happen in HiSec. So that's kind of the you know, about the T2 ships. There's always two options. One is the deep space transport, which has loads and loads of cargo space. You can also brick tank it, so it has lots of hit points. And the other option you have is these blockade runners with the cloaks, and they're really good because it's typically a lot more difficult to catch these. We are going to shoot at a deep space transport, so I'm going to give a deep space transport to my buddy, and it's going to be this one. So this has, you know, the one with like over 100,000 hit points. And because you haul more in these, I could, you know, I'm really comfortable. Like I said, if it's somewhere below 100 mil, I'm terribly comfortable to autopilot it, because no one's interested in shooting this thing for 100 mil, probably, because it also, they need to use ships to, you know, you need to use a certain amount of ships to kill it too. They could probably kill it with loads of destroyers too, but we'll show that first. So let's stick to the destroyers, and we're just gonna undock a water safe this time, because I don't have to. We're not going to be able to kill it with the destroyers on the gate. Got my people undocked. Warp to a safe spot.
Drive active.
That responsible again. Send some dual invites, because my hauler is a lot more sluggish than the destroyers, of course, so it's just entered warp. And then you can see how little damage the destroyers do this time. I mean, if you have maybe if you have 10 or 20 of them, then it's a problem, but otherwise not. Let's see. Should be able to. And we're doing damage, that's for sure. But like two ships are doing 5-ish% per cycle. I mean, I can imagine if you have 10 of them, then it would go, you know, a lot quicker. But it's still not, you know, still not super much. We'll either be able to you know, slow rowboat to the gate, or maybe you're lucky you walk off. It's going to take a lot of time, and if they're ganking you, this is, it depends on the system as well, actually. Like if you're in a 0.5 system, the response time for Concord is a lot more than in 0.7 or 1.0. But Concord will already be on grid by now, and you and all of your ganking buddies are dead. Yeah, so that's also, something to take into consideration. They need to kill you in a matter of seconds. Like if this was in low sec and you were scrammed or something, yeah, then you would die, probably. But if they were ganking you in high sec, then you were safe now, and all of the attackers were dead, and you could walk off, because it takes too long, So then we need to kind of use different ships. So let's go back and grab some ships that are a little bit bigger.
Warp drive active.
And then I can repair my my hauler station. Yeah, so there's like a lot of ships, of course, that you can gank with. The Trasher is your favorite, Catalyst is your favorite. It's either high alpha DPS like the artillery cannons on Minotaur ships, or more faster prolonged DPS like the Catalyst, actually. But most gankers want to, like kind of half synchronize the shooting, and then just alpha you off grid. Actually, that's what they.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted. Docking permission requested.
Different Minotaur ship here, which is the.
Docking request accepted.
And I've just, I've kept the names. These are people that do tend to gank, which is good.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
It's a play style. I don't hate gankers. Yeah, so we're gonna go into the rupture for now. I'll just grab 2 ruptures. Let's see on my other character as well, and we'll do the test again. Yeah, so the ruptures basically, it kind of works similar like the destroyer. Just does a little bit more DPS. Not by a lot, but just by they tend to just stay at range or something, and they'll shoot you from there. It's there's not a whole lot of ammo or something in it, because it's meant to die, right? That's what it's made for. The Trasher was like 5 million. This is like 25. And let's see what this does in terms of damage versus our DST. And I think just do that at the station actually, so I'm still engaged with the target, so we don't really have to warp to the city. Just shoot it here. As you can see, it'll have like a sensor boost or something. It'll have the warp disruptors, so that you don't need a separate ship to kind of hold it. So if I just, I'm just gonna, yeah, I'll just put some warp disruptors on the ship, and let's shoot it now. Let's see what it does now. Yeah, both of them are shooting. So as you can see, there's still a lot more damage coming in. Still not, still not terrible, but it's somewhere between 5 and 10% or something, I think, like that. So if you get like 10 of these, then probably maybe maybe you can kill it then. And then if you've already scanned the DST and it has like what 500 mil in it, and you use 10 of these ships, that's 250 mil, and you kill it, then you have maybe 400 mil drops, and then all of your profit. You know, you can buy new ships, and you can do it again. And if this doesn't work, let's start this ship. If this doesn't work, because this is, they also, you know, you can also use like a single rupture to kill like a Tech 1 hauler, which is, you know, then you don't have to have the multiple destroyers, but otherwise they will use, oh wait, I'm still actively using that one. Let me dock this one.
Docking permission requested. Docking request
Yeah,
accepted.
they'll use like ships like the Tornado, which is kind of this one. So this, of course, has a lot more range. So if I simulate this one up, put some ammo into it. See, and they can just be somewhere above the gate, or you know, be a little bit off the gate, and then whenever you land, they'll just shoot you, and there'll probably be like 5 of them or something, and see, they do a lot more damage. And we'll use once my weapons timer cools down, I can dock up, switch ships again, and we'll shoot the same bustard with the tornadoes too, so you can see kind of the difference. Because then you will see like a whole lot of difference, of course, in damage application.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Dock up the ships again.
Docking permission requested. Docking request
Grab the tornado, do the
accepted.
same thing, and after that we're going to move on to the larger ships, so the Orca and the freighters, and I'll also show at the very end of the class, I'll show how a jump freighter works. I'll just quickly dip into Nelson and show you. Let's see. So yeah, we got the Tornado here. Wonderful ship, uses large guns. I'll just undock, and I'll show you how that applies damage to the busters. So let's see. Yeah, okay, our bustard is a little bit close by. Move off a little bit, because I want to have a little bit of range, because artillery guns don't really work that overly fondly well when you're this close. Ridiculous. I don't really need the target painter dead, which obviously we're not going to do that. But let's dock up the.
Docking permission requested. Yeah. Docking request accepted.
Yeah, the tornado is kind of, you know, it's 100 mil a piece, and then this is just like an El Cheapo fitting kind of ish, because you know it just has the T1 guns, it has just enough ammo to kill something. You know, it's not real blingy or expensive or whatnot. So yeah, then it really needs to be worth your time. Some people, I see them. You can find them daily. The amount of, you know, the people that use the deep space transports and put like 2, 3, 4 billion ISK in them and go autopiloting, or they might make a mistake or whatnot. Yeah, I would gladly sacrifice 5, even 10 tornadoes to shoot like a 4 billion DST, right? So that's like we've talked about these 3 types of ganking ships, like the sizes. It's always like the value you can put in your ship is always you always have to compare that to the value that's needed to destroy your ship, and that is kind of the rule of thumb to see what
docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
And I mean,
docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Then you can, you know, you're a little bit more safer. You can bring more with you, but it's kind of the thing. Yeah, that's basically the normal hauler type. So like the T1 and the T2 hauler types. Now we're going into ships that are not specifically called hauler, but there's something different, like the Orca. Basically, the Orca is it's like an industrial command ship, but it has loads of different options that you can use it for. You know, if we look at the cargo, you know, at the inventory, the cargo hold bays that it has its normal cargo hold, and this is just the base value. I think if I let's see, I'm just gonna strip off a lot of stuff, and I'll show you what it, you know, what the max is that you can put in it. Cargo hold, expanders, and then like if you do T2s, oh, we can't do 3 of those. We'll just do it like that. Yeah. So you can kind of go up to 100,000 M3. You know, really cool. You'll lose a lot of hit points and stuff while doing so, but you can. So that's cool. It also has these really cool other things like the ship maintenance bay, which works the same way as the bowhead. So I can just drag in this ship and it's there. You know, you can just keep it there, and you don't have to repackage it. So that's really nifty. It has a fleet hangar too, a little bit smaller than the like the deep space. No, like the deep space transport. But like you can see, you can still fit tons of stuff in there as well. Fuel bays is basically what is used by the ship itself. So there's not, you know, you can any fuel related thing you can put in here. And then you have the mining hold, which is what the Orca is most famous for, because you know it's industrial command ship, so it provides on-grid mining boosts, and people can, you know, deposit stuff into the fleet hangar, and then from the fleet hangar you can put it into the mining hold. But you can also use it to haul ore, a lot of it. You know, we talked about the Galente. Which one was it? I don't know if it was the Miasmos that has the mining hold hangar for, you know, and the Orca has it too. So Orca is pretty versatile in what you can do with it. Fitted ships, normal cargo, all that kind of stuff. The fleet hangar is funny because let me clear out what's in here at the moment. this is true for the fleet hangar on the DST as well. If it's small, like this ship, you can just drop it in there. You know, it works. You can do that. If you really don't have any more space to put stuff in the ship maintenance bay, you can put it in here. The only difference is though that people in your fleet or your corp, they can kind of, like if I put this rupture in here, someone can board the rupture from space. They can just open the ship maintenance bay, they can board it from space. That's really cool, but you won't be able to do that on the fleet hangar. You can grab items out of the fleet hangar, but you can't board the ship. But it is cool that you can put like a fitted ship in there. So that's basically what what you can use the Orca for. The Orca has a nifty little trick that I always use, because I also fly the Orca in nullsec. Because every time I mine, I don't use porpoise, but I always use Orca. Let me just warp it. Let me just stop it, because it needs to stop actually. I've got like a big micro warp drive on it, and why I'm telling that is, if you look at the like the Orca's align time, it's kind of atrocious. Like almost 30 seconds to align to something and to warp off. Imagine if you want to move this thing through low sec or null sec, right? You want to hold stuff. It's terrible. It takes so long. This 30 seconds is really long, and if you stay on a gate for 30 seconds, that chances are they'll catch you. So there's a really nifty trick that you can do. If you just warp to this gate here from 0,
warp drive active.
You just cycle, let the micro warp drive cycle just once, and then by the time it's done, it'll warp off the warp. And that was way less than 30 seconds. If you look at the cycle time, it's 10 seconds. So you basically reduced it by 20 seconds or what. And that's really cool. And 10 seconds is still like an arguably long time to be in a gate, but it's a lot better. Now we can just kind of warp back, do the same trick again.
Warp drive active.
You do have to do it from near standstill, because if you're still moving somewhere in some direction and you try to trick, then it doesn't work. It kind of builds up enough momentum in the 10 seconds that you need to be already aligned without the microphone. So that's really quickly with a ship that's this big, because it's like, I think it's longer than a kilometer or something. So it's pretty big. And the same applies to
docking permission requested.
The Bowhead. You can do the same trick with the Bowhead too, even though it's like classed as a freighter.
Docking permission requested.
Also really big, really sluggish. My ship wants to dock.
Docking permission requested.
Then
docking permission requested. Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Yeah, we'll go into the Bowhead. We'll just drop some ships in there, because you can put a lot of ships in there too. So the Bowhead is it's also like an ore related ship. So it's the ore freighter skill that you need for it, and for the Orca it's the industrial command ship skill that you need for it. And the Bowhead is like a really big solid brick, but I don't know, I can just select these ships and just that was just too much. Let me just drag this then. But no, I won't do that either, because I selected, oh well, So you can just drag. Oh yeah, that's. Let's see, which one was that? Probably this one. Yeah, some stuff you can't fit in. Probably there's something in this ship that's not allowed to be in there in the sense of that I can't put it in the ship maintenance bay. Let me check. Um, what is in the cargo? Probably this module or something. But yeah, you can just fit all the stuff in there. I mean, like I said, the Bowhead doesn't really have a whole lot of normal cargo space, so there's not a whole lot of reason to bonus the little cargo space you have. So I just brick tank it. So it has like a lot of hit points now, and the same same micro warp drive. I'll just quickly undock, show the same kind of trick that you can do with this ship. I kind of use this ship primarily in high sec actually. I don't have one in null because in null sec you can use carriers, which are capital class drone ships or fighter ships actually, and they have the same 2 million M3 ship maintenance bay, and they're safer to use because I can jump them to places. I can teleport with them, just like the jump freighters, which we will go into really shortly. Yeah, where are we? I'll just warp to my safe spot and then go back. So it's kind of the same. You just warp.
Warp drive active.
The micro warp drive just once, and when it's done, it should warp off. See, there we go. There's more ships that you can kind of do this with. You also have the like the step up from the Orca is the Rorqual. Rorqual is like the capital sized mining boost ship. You can do that too. You can even use this one as well. Will work 80% of the time. And if this one doesn't work, you can use the capital size micro warp drive, and that will kind of work as well. Kind of neat trick that you can use with these bigger ships to haul a little bit faster.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Can you use an afterburner as well?
No, sadly not. Because the afterburner doesn't give you enough speed in the one cycle, like to give you the same type of boost. Sadly, so it's like only like a large micro warp drive. I think he
Warp drive active.
because no, sadly not. And I think no, not you're not able to put capital sized afterburner on this one either. So no, sadly not. It only works with the micro warp drive, and then it also only works if you cycle it only once. Because if you keep letting it, if you keep the micro warp drive on, then it's even longer to. Because I think now it's like 26 seconds too, and if you keep it on, then it's 30. So yeah, if you just cycle it once, this one cycles 10 seconds, the cycle time is 10 seconds too, then you warp off quicker, but otherwise it won't work, sadly. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, actually.
Okay.
Thank you. I was wondering if there's any lower cycle times for micro warp drives than 10 seconds.
There are, but then then you'll use like a 50 mn micro warp drive, and I think a 50 mn is 5 seconds. I think. Let me check. Oh, this is 10 seconds too. Yeah, then maybe the 5 mn, but also not. They're all 10 seconds. Okay. Yeah, the no. So then I think it's
Docking permission
the
requested.
lowest cycle time is 10. Sadly. Let me check the. Type that wrong. Yeah, so like the one after this one, so the capital sized one, that is longer actually.
Docking request
20,
accepted.
sadly. But 10 is the shortest cycle. But then again, if you use 5 mn micro warp drive on the bowhead, then it won't work. You need to have like a sufficient sized micro warp drive to do that. Yeah, going into the last section of the ships, the freighters, like this one. This is the Caldari freighter, and this is the Minotaur one. There's not a whole lot of stuff that you can do on them, you know, fitting wise. You only have these low slots actually. And there's a limited amount of stuff that you can put in here. So let's see. I think I have. Yeah, I have some. Yeah, I have some fitting stuff here. Let me put up the simulation. So if you you got only like 3 choices of stuff that you can put on there. You can put these cargo hold expanders on it. The bonus is, of course, is that you increase the cargo hold, but you decrease the defense. So if we get rid of these, we can gradually see the hit points go up and the cargo hold go down. Then you can also fit these inertial stabilizers, which do nothing for your cargo hold or your defense, but it decreases the align time. So if we, base align time was like 36 seconds, and with these modules we've shaved off like 15-ish seconds. So that's a lot of time every time, a lot of time that we win actually with warping each time. Like if you need to jump like 50 jumps, saves you 50 times 15 seconds, right? And sadly, there's no micro warp drive trick you can do here with the, I'll show you a different trick. I think I have one here, because there's no micro warp drive that you can use here, so there's no cycle time trick. There's a webifying trick that I'll show you that too, but let me just finish the modules that you can fit here too. And then the last type of module that you can put on here is the bulkheads. And bulkheads kind of increase the defense, but as you can see by the number in the cargo hold, it decreases the cargo hold capacity. So it drops down by so was it like 500,000, and we lose around like 150,000 M3, but we do have increased hit points, and that's kind of the way how you can like set up how you want to fly your freighter for the day, right? If you have a lot of value in it, put these things in it, these bulkheads. If it's maybe your jump freighter is empty and you just need to go someplace real quick to you need to go someplace real quick to grab some stuff, then you put in the inertial stabilizers. And if you really need to haul like a massive amount of stuff, then you really fill it out with the the expanded basically the cargo hold expanders. You know, so that's kind of how you can fit it up. There are subtle differences, of course, in the ships, like the Fenrir, because it's Minotaur, it aligns a little bit faster. If we go and look into the this one, and I'll have to, you know, the align time is almost the same, but I have one of these up there. Let me just let me get the fitting back to what it was with the other one, and you'll see that so the align time here is worse, but we get more cargo hold, and there are subtle differences between all of them. My advice: pick the one that you like the most visually. You know, or if you really want a lot of cargo hold, then you know, pick that one. But there's not, you know, in the end, there's not really a whole big difference about it. Let me see if I have a ship here. I think this one. No. I need to have a ship with webs. I'll just grab one from here. I think I have one ship with webs here. I'll just undock the. So these things are really slow. Let me quickly check if there's a webifier somewhere here. Ah, there's webifiers here. That's cool. I'll just fit up the ship real quickly with the webs. And you can kind of see how that works. So the idea is basically the other trick that I showed was with the micro warp. So you cycle the micro warp drive once, and then you kind of get enough momentum that, you know, to be already completely aligned and warp off at the same spot. With the web trick, it's kind of the opposite. You slow the ship down, so you align, and because you are already moving a little bit, if you use webs on the ship, it'll slow down, you know, even more, but it also decreases the speed you need to warp off. And at that point, you're probably already going around the speed that you need to warp off, right? So let me fit these. Ah, this fits. That's cool. That works. So normally, what you can do, like in high sec or low sec or null sec, whatever, if there's a lot of value in your ship, and I mean, sometimes you like if you don't have a web buddy, like if you don't have another friend that's gonna help you with going through all the gates, I would say putting like 1, maybe 2 billion ISK in the freighter, and you're probably gonna be okay if you just manual warp, right? You're still gonna be a target because the tornadoes can still kind of shoot you. I'll shoot the freighter with the tornadoes too in a couple minutes. But if you really have a lot of stuff that you need to haul, like maybe you have 20 billion ISK, you want to put it in the freighter, on a normal day I wouldn't advise it because it's like a lot of ISK, and you know, they might spot you and they might send some people after you. But if you have this webifying trick, then you're at least safe. So how it works is, let me dual invite my buddy over here so I can legally get shot at. So the trick is that you already align, so your buddy is waiting at the other end of the gate already. So you've taken the gate, you align, and you decloak, and then your buddy is in the time that it takes you to like align, and your buddy is targeting you, and you should have like you do need to be pointing at it a little bit. So I'm pointing at it kind of ish now. He's gonna use his webs, and oh, I should have pressed the
Warp
button.
drive
Yeah,
active.
you're already warping kind of, and as you can see, I'm warping sideways because normally it takes you more time to align to the thing, right? But that's basically how it works, and because your speed is decreased so much instantly, you already have the critical velocity to warp off at that point. I'm just quickly going to have my buddy warp to that same gate too, so I can do
Warp
the same
drive
trick back.
active.
I don't want to spend another 30 or 40 seconds or what to move backward, to align backwards. It does involve like a little bit of it has to be already moving a little bit. It has to be pointing at the kind of direction. So there's a little bit of timing involved. Sometimes you might time it wrongly, and it takes a little bit longer time. Naturally, if your buddy has webbed you, he has an aggression timer. So when you're in high sec, you can kind of do the same as that I did now. You send a dual invite, and you align, he webs you, and it works. And then he has to wait at the gate for his aggression timer to go down, go through the gate, and then do the whole same thing again, basically. So we are now going to warp back to. I'm going to dock back into the station.
Warp drive active.
My buddy's gonna, see, he's targeting me, and he's webbing me, and boom, I already have the speed to, warp off. So that's really, really good in terms of trying to make your travel as safe as possible, because no one wants to wait those 45 seconds or so. Somewhat up the gate with a whole like 10 billions. So that basically, there's not a whole lot of stuff that you can fit in the freighter to begin with. So,
warp drive active.
any more questions? Oh yeah, any more questions on the ships that you can use, like here, I'll shoot the freighter with the tornadoes for a little bit so you can see the damage implication, and then we're gonna go into nullsec.
Docking permission requested. Docking permission accepted. Docking request accepted.
Questions before we do that?
So, hello everyone. I see freighters here. What about Avalanche? Was he talked about already?
No.
And what our role? It's quite different from other freighters, so.
It is. The Avalanche is the upwell freighter. So like the Deluge, what the Deluge and the other upwell ships are for the smaller versions. The Avalanche is the upwell freighter, and let's see how much. Because I don't know if I have max skills for it. But how much can we fit in here if we look at the... Yeah, so you have... I think I have level 4 skills, so probably at level 5 you have 3 million M3 of infrastructure hold capacity, which will in turn, make this thing possible to drop a keep star somewhere. That's kind of what it can do. I don't own one. They are somewhat expensive. I also don't need one at the moment because I don't need one in nullsec because it's too big for me to use. There's too much cargo space. I won't use that. But yeah, you can if you want to set up like high sec empire or low sec empire with a lot of upwell structures or whatnot, then use the avalanche. I think there are some people that I know of that have an avalanche in nullsec, of course, but it's not every day that you anchor a keepstar, and you can put the Fortizar in the smaller one, or even in a jump freighter. But it is a cool ship. But yeah, well, you can also put fuel blocks and stuff in there as well. So that's if you want to use it for the utility role. It also has like normal capacity, of course, as well. But then again, at the price of what you need to pay for this one, you can probably also use another ship. I do like it. I just personally, I don't use it because I don't think it's too practical or too useful for the things that I want to do. But there's uses for it, of course, and it's a very cool looking ship. That too. Let me quickly go back into my tornado. Let me give my ship to someone that can fly it. And then let's shoot it, because we all like shooting stuff. Let's see. Let me get my other buddy in the tornado again as well. Let's undock. I think we're let's see how is this one fitted? Yeah, it's just the freighter fitted with the cargo rig extenders, so that means it has a little bit less hit points than that it would have normally, right? It increases the hit points a bit, but we're just going to shoot it as it is. Send dual invites again. Let's see. Invite to dual. And another one from the other pilot. There we go. So we're going to shoot the freighter. It's effective. Kind of like the a little bit less effective, of course, than shooting the or more less effective than shooting the deep space transport. But still, if you have like 10, probably if you have 10 tornadoes, you can probably alpha the freighter off grid. If it just has I'll just have them shoot one more time before I lose the freighter, most likely. Then stop shooting. But yeah, so that's kind of the reason why it's important to have one of your webbing buddies if you're hauling it in this configuration. So with the cargo hold expanders, when you're hauling a lot of stuff, you're slow, you're sluggish. If someone scouts you and they use a cargo scanner and they see, oh, you've got loads of stuff in there, okay, I'll just send 10 tornadoes and we'll kill you and we'll loot your wreck. Because I think the freighter alone is like worth 2 billion, so it'll have a 2 billion ISK kill mill, and they've lost 100 like 10 tornadoes, so that's like 1 billion ISK worth of ships. So they're already like ISK positive in terms of what am I shooting, what am I losing, and then your cargo drops as well. So yeah, that's why the hauling buddy, the Webifier friend comes in handy, and you can ask a friend, like a real life friend, or you can do it yourself. That's really
Docking permission requested. Docking request
Really good.
accepted. Docking permission
Um,
requested. Docking request
last
accepted.
thing that I want to point out before we go into nullsec, like hauling through highsec, there was only so much. There's only a limit to the number of routes you have, right, from one place to the other. So most people fly the route with the least amount of jumps, and gankers know that. So they go into systems where there's, high amounts of traffic. Like for instance, this one. This is, I think if I go to Amar from here, probably let me go to Amar from here. Do I cross Uedama? Yes, I cross Uedama. So for instance, if you want to go from, like this, I'm really close to Jeddah at the moment. I'm like 9 jumps from Jeddah. If I want to go from Jeddah to Amar, which is the Amarian trade hub, you cross Uedama, kind of 15 jumps in or something, 10, 15 jumps, and there's always people, there's always people here ganking. It might not be on the time of day that you're passing through there, but they'll be there, and it's also because it's a low security for a high sec system. It's like the lowest security possible. So Concord is going to take extra amount of time. I think I'll have to let me quickly check the Concord response times for let's see, yeah. So if you're in like a 0.5 system, it takes about 19-20 seconds for Concord to be there. So that means the tornadoes have 20 seconds to kill you, and they'll probably have enough time to kill you. If they have 10 of them, yep, you're dead. Like if you look at for instance this one, Perimeter, which is like a 1.0 system, which is right next to Jeddah, you'll see a whole lot less ganking here because it takes around 5-6 seconds for Concord to be there. So they have less time to shoot you, right? So they need more ships, so they need more resources to get what's in your target. So that's why systems like Uedama and other 0.5 systems, maybe even systems around it. So like for instance Sivala, I see ganking going on there because people don't expect it, right? Or people that don't check their travel route beforehand, they don't expect it. They come into Uedama, they see no one, they're like, oh, it's a good day, okay, let's continue. And they drop into here and, all hell breaks loose and you lose a ship. There are websites that you can use to check that. There is, for instance, a really cool website, and I'm going to post it in the chat here. Please use it. If you haven't seen this website yet, please use it. The Eve Gatecheck website, and you can just put in your start and midpoints and end location, and it kind of gives you it checks Z-kill and then gives you a graph of if ships have been killed there. You can just click on the system and you can see if it's like if it was a gank, or maybe it was war targets that shot each other or whatnot. But you can check it there. Really important. And also like I have my route set to shorter to safer. If I put it on shorter now, it sends me through low sec, and particularly this one. And this is a really nice, really good example. If you ever kind of check your route and you set it to fastest and you cross this, then there's like a 80-90% chance that they're gate camping all day round in this system, because it connects like a major trade hub with another, and you know, if you move your freighter through there, then you're gonna lose it. You know, there'll always be someone waiting for you there to grab you. Like if you're using the blockade runner and you're cloaking all the time and you're quick enough, and there's not like a gate camp there with, you know, with what I said, with containers and drones and ships and whatnot to try and decloak you, then you're probably going to be fine. But yeah, anything other than that, you're going to lose there. Like even, you know, it's just going to die. You know, so always please avoid like these. This is like a death trap. So then just, yeah, you'll have to go the long way around, and then also try to avoid gate campers in like 0.5 systems, because that's you know, they'll always be there, and you know, like you've seen, like 2 tornadoes could really dent the freighter already, and I know the freighter wasn't really set up for max hit points, but still, you know, it kind of gives off a vibe. Yeah. With that being said, I think we can quickly jump into low sec, null sec. I meant, and then I can show you a jump freighter, and then kind of what you can, how it works to move that around, because that's easier actually than moving manually. So I am going to death clone home, and that's what I mean with that is that I'm going to go back to my home station. Right, yep. I'm gonna self-destruct whenever the game wants me to. Sometimes it's a little bit iffy, but you get used to it. There we go. Should be swapping now. And then I'll have one. Let me see. Yep. I'm gonna send one other guy there too. Cyno pilot, and I'll explain what that means in a little bit. Hold on. Let's see. I will already get into my jump. So we have an onshore here, which is the Galente one. It's a little bit dirty at the moment. The big difference between this one and its other T1 sibling, if I learn to type, and I can actually type in the correct name, let me just show it this way, simulate this one. So if you look at this one, like the base value is kind of okay, and then you can, you know, put the cargo hold extender in, and you can go up to like over a million M3 of cargo hold space. Really cool, right? If you look at the Tech 2 version, you would think, okay, maybe now I have more. Sadly, no. Like you can see, I can fit like just over 3.5, like just over 350,000, and that's kind of it. I can use these terribly expensive. I don't even know why I have this, but I do have these, and I'll show you the difference. And there's not a whole lot of difference. There's like a billion ISK in stuff there, and it doesn't really do a whole lot. So we can change it from 356 to let me swap these out, and we can change it to a whopping 368. So we've just gained 12,000 M3 of cargo space for a billion ISK. It's not worth it. Never buy them. I just happen to have them. Yeah, and then this thing works a little bit different because this can. I don't know if it says so actually. Nah, it doesn't really say so here, but you can kind of in nullsec you'll rarely use this. You'll rarely gate this around. You're not going to fly this and go to one gate and then to the next, and you're not going to do that. Point one, because it's a really expensive ship. I mean, I know these are expensive, but normally it's already like 7 or 8 billion ISK for a jump freighter, so I classify that as a really expensive ship. And it's, it has the same kind of hit points as like if I.
There is already something in that location.
Put the bulkheads in there as well. Let me put the bulkheads in there. See, so you can kind of brick tank it like almost a million M3 of almost a million hit points. Seems a lot, but if you're in nullsec or in lowsec, they can send a lot of stuff at you, right? So you're not gonna survive if they catch you. That's just what I want to say. But you teleport the ship around. That's basically what you do. And this is like a two-person job because you need someone with the teleportation device, which we call the cyno beacon. I think. Do I have it? Yes, I have one here. I'll just simulate it. This is a venture. An adventure. We're not going to dive too much into which ships can use cynos. I did that class 2 weeks ago. The video is online, so you can all watch that. The venture uses the industrial cyno, and the industrial cyno makes the teleportation beacon. And if you're in the same fleet as the person that uses the cyno, you can connect to it, and you can warp. You can jump to it, so you kind of teleport from one place to the next. And if you look at the map in the cyno ship at the moment, anything within this ball, this sphere, this bubble, however you want to call it, I can go there. I can teleport there. So I can go from this system here, and I can jump to this system here, and that is 13 jumps from here, and it's 9.5 light years, and you can jump 10 light years with your jump freighter, so this is within range. So that basically saves you 15 normal jumps. So it saves you a lot of time, and it also saves a lot of danger on the way, and that's why we like jump freighters. I am going to give my buddy the ship. So you need the so your buddy needs the cyno ship, and while you're cynoing, you also use fuel. There's a fuel bay in the ship too. The jump freighter uses isotopes, and there are 4 types of isotopes. They're all part of the clan or the race or whatnot. So oxygen is for Galente. Other isotopes are for other. I think I have nitrogen is for Caldari. I think helium is for Mimitar, kind of that. So you need to have the right type of isotopes in your jump freighter. And the only thing that the cyno pilot uses is liquid ozone. So I always keep some liquid ozone in my jump freighter. Maybe my jump freighter. Maybe my jump freighter cyno pilot doesn't have an extra amount of ozone with him, and I don't want to get stuck somewhere. I want to give them the fuel that they need, the ozone, so that they continue to jump me to the places that I need to go. So I've given the cyno ship to my buddy. He's going to be in position, and I will just patiently wait outside for now, because I can. Something that jump freighters can also use that I have not mentioned yet, which is really cool, are these things. Jump drive economizers, which decrease the amount of isotopes that you need. So I'm going to keep these expensive things here. I'm going to put these 3 in, and it won't kind of, it's not going to tell you in any graph or stat or whatnot what the total decrease is. But there's like stacking penalties. I think it'll probably be something between 15 and 17% in total or something, because I have 3 of them, because they're stacking penalties. So maybe you use say we're using 15% less isotopes. Really cool. We're already gonna undock with the ship. Okay. And my pilot is gonna be
Question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can we calculate what's like more effective, to put cargo hold optimization, so we can just carry more loot and fill it to the brim, or use these optimizers for ozone?
I would just, because like if it's a 15%, it's just like a 15% bonus, and at the moment we can only fit 170, so it's half of what it can normally fit if you fill it up with the cargo hold, the expanded cargo hold. So most of the time when you use the if you use the economizers, you do it like we're doing now. It's almost empty, or it's empty, or you don't have to move all that much, but it still needs to get done, then you use the economizers. If you just need to fill it up with like the 350,000 M3, just fill it up, because it's not, because if you fit the economizers and you need to do 2 jumps, it's still going to use even with minus what is it? You're still going to use more jump fuel total, right? So it's not worth it. Only use it when you don't have that much stuff to move, or when you're empty and you just need to move around to do a pickup. And then, so I always keep all of these modules in the ship itself, just so I can just fit it out wherever it is that I need to go. Let's see. Go actually.
Warp drive active.
I'm gonna try and do a half meaningful hole here. I'm gonna pick up some ships that are left behind from a previous time. They're still stuck in the station, but still need. And then did that actually answer your question, by the way?
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright.
Was just
Warp drive active.
curious about other anyway, that do jump freighters killing the idea of some convoys of normal freighters, like in Null especially, when you need to carry a bulk of materials, or it's just so inefficient in terms of paying people and etc. To have little fleet of convoy.
But you can. I do also have a normal freighter in Null. It is actually terribly difficult to
Warp
get
drive
a freighter
active.
into Null. You basically have to, because you can't jump it. the only way to get a freighter into nullsec that you know that you own already is by having a conduit jump through a Titan, and the resources that are needed for that is a lot. So most of the normal freighters that you can get, you build them in null. I do have a freighter in null, and I do use
Docking
that if
request
I need
accepted.
to move really big stuff around. And I also sometimes do the webifier trick with the normal freighter, just because sometimes you have like sometimes you've been mining in nullsec or something. Maybe you have like 5 million M3 of ore. That's not really a strange amount to need to haul from one place to another. If you want to do that in the you know, with the jump freighter, it's going to cost you a lot of money, like a lot of jump fuel to get that done, right? So it takes 3 jump freighters, 5 jumps to get all that ore and to dump it to where it needs to go. You can do that, and of course you can also like get a couple of friends or buddies or multiple characters, multiple jump freighters. Maybe do 3 jump freighter runs with 5 jump freighters. You can do that too. It's still gonna cost a lot of money. So normal freighters always also just a good idea to have in null if you if you have to move a lot of stuff on a regular base, right? Then you can just get a normal freighter in hull. Just have one built in null. That's probably the easiest thing, because you'll have it in the location where you want it, and you're probably also not gonna jump it around really far away, right? You're not gonna be jumping with it 15 jumps into null, because that's a little bit too dangerous as well. So kind of in a circle of like maybe 10 jumps max around where you live. That's also kind of enough, I think, in terms of if you kind of need to use it in 10 jumps around where you live. That's kind of okay. And otherwise, otherwise you can like use the jump freighter. It's just gonna take you a lot more time, and it's also gonna cost you a lot more money buying the jump fuel, basically. Does that kind of yeah?
But we are talking here more like 2 windows, just or maybe some ice as well, but just tackle ship for it and just freighter, yes, not like some defense for it or something.
Oh no. If I'm moving my if I'm moving a freighter, it's just the tackle ship, just the ship with the webs, because that acts as the scout as well. I mean, you could set up an entire fleet to try and move one freighter, but that's not how it gets done most of the time. It just
Yeah, that will be just expensive. And does that situations even emerge that you need to carry like that much stuff at one moment? So you need to just really set up convoy, multiple freighters, like some, I don't know, global movement or something,
yeah,
or it's
yeah.
just unreal.
I think if you have to, I feel like you have to move regions. You'll probably what you'll end up with is you'll send, like we're at you know, our coalition stage in Keepstar at the moment. You'll probably send your freighters to the Keepstar, like you fill them up, and for me it is where is our alliance staging? It is 8 jumps from here, I think. Uh, I have too much stuff. I always have too much stuff. Yeah, like for instance here. Yeah, that's like 9 jumps. So at that point, if you like need to haul that amount of stuff, you just fill up the freighters. You send them to the coalition Keepstar, and then when you start moving out, you just Titan bridge them out, because you're not gonna, like, if I need to go from Jita from here, or I need to go from HiSec from here, as that freighter is not gonna move all this way. It's not gonna live. It's not. It's just, I don't see it possible. So you just send it a couple jumps, like 9-10 jumps. You send it to the Keepstar, and then when the move is, like, the move ops will be planned and etc. And you'll probably use a Titan bridge to send it to low-sec, and then from low-sec you can go to high-sec really quickly. And that's basically, I think, how it will go. And I mean, you could, like, at that point, you'll probably have like a fleet that can like kind of guide your freighters towards the Keepstar in this case. But that'll be like a alliance or coalition effort. Like if I'm just hauling ice blocks, or I'm just hauling ore, I'm not going to call in an entire defense fleet for one freighter, because it draws too much attention, because you ping a fleet, and B, it's not really necessary if you just use the web trick and you're just being sensible about it, because then you'll be, and in nullsec you warp to pings anyway. You just warp to the structures, not to the gates directly. So you just kind of zip across, try and make it as safely as possible. I hope that answers the question. Yeah, we're kind of set for the jumping thing. So you have your jump freighter. At the moment it's empty, so we put the economizers in, because we just need to do a pickup. We are going to do a real pickup actually. I'll just do the I'm not going to do the return journey, but I'll go there and pick up the stuff. So you have these in. Check your fuel. Fuel is important. I have enough fuel at the moment. You can use kind of out of game websites to calculate the fuel beforehand, so you're not stuck, because if you don't have enough jump fuel, the isotopes, then you're not able to go to the place that you want to go. So you can use the .land website. I'm going to list that here too. And they have a really nice jump planner. You can just choose the ship that you have. There's also a couple of skills that are handy to know of. For instance, the jump drive calibration. Jump drive calibration increases the maximum jump range. So what we've just seen, like those, that 10 light years, like this entire area, everywhere that I can jump to, that's because I have jump drive calibration level 5. So otherwise it will be less. And of course you want to jump as few times as possible, because there's something called jump fatigue. And you'll see that in a minute. You want to jump. Each time you jump, depending on the range that you jump, you get like a timer that you have to wait out before you can jump again. And at the beginning, that's kind of just a minute or something. And the jump freighter, I think it tells you here in the overview, like there's a reduction in effective distance traveled for jump fatigue, so that's really good. So you get less jump fatigue than if you, for instance, want to use a dreadnought or a carrier. So that's really good. But it's still gonna it's gonna exponentially rise if you keep jumping non-stop. If you jump one after another, and eventually you'll have to wait 30 minutes before you can jump again. And there's going to be 2 timers, a blue one and a red one. And once I got them, I'll explain what that does. But that's kind of how the jump fatigue works. And then the other one is jump fuel conservation. So that affects the isotope consumption. So you can make it cheaper for yourself, to use the fuel. I think the fuel, we are in null. This is not Jita. It's kind of okay. I'd say, actually, price-wise. But yeah, it's kind of a million ISK per 1,000 units, kind of like that. And if you jump, we're probably going to use about 10 to 15,000 units. So it's probably going to cost me like 10, 15 million, and then back. So it's going to like 20 to 30 million ISK, just jumping back and forth, kind of like that. But we'll see. It's we'll see what we end up with. So this person is our cyno pilot, and before we jump, we want to put that person on the watch list. There's two options to jump to someone. One is by right-clicking the capacitor, and then see, there is an option there to jump to a mobile cyno beacon, and now you don't really know who that is. So it's someone in this fleet probably, or someone that has set it to so that you can use it, but you don't really have eyes on that mobile cyno beacon. There could be upwell structure cyno beacons in this list there too that you can jump to. You don't really know if those are safe either. So and if someone uses their cyno and they're in fleet, you're welcome, Quadrata. See you later. And if someone uses their cyno, you can click it from here too, from jump 2. But you might misclick and click on the beacon, and then there is a couple of hungry PvP people waiting for you to emerge, and they'll shoot you. So we don't want to use this option. Don't use the right click on capacitor and do the jump to. Please don't do that. Have your cyno pilot in the watch list, and then once he or she lights the cyno, you can right click here too, and then jump from that option. So we're going to do that now. I have checked my target system. There are some red people in it, but there's one of them is docked up for as far as I can see, but I really need to make this jump. Normally I wouldn't jump into a system with enemy players in it. As you can see, in nullsec you have standings with everyone that's friendly to you, so all these blue people, they're not going to be bothersome. It's these like these orange and red players, and even players without standing, like Bob Mong. These are kind of like the pilots that might try and do something, but we're just going to do it. I'm going to light the cyno. The cyno is green, and you can right click here, and you can jump to member. You see really cool animations. And what we are doing right now is, normally I'm a little bit slower with this, but not now. You click the structure,
Docking
and you dock
request
straight away,
accepted.
because there's this unable to tether timer for 30 seconds. If you stay in space there, you're not tethered to the structure, and someone can target you and shoot you, and you're dead. And that's just what happens. I lost one Anchar once in that way, so you want to dock up straight away. How much jump fuel have we used? Like 10,000. So this was like 10 million isk kinda. And you have these timers that I talked about. So it's ticking down. I need to wait another 30 seconds for me to jump back to some other place. And this blue one tells you what the next timer is going to be. So there's a blue timer that's longer than the red one, but the blue timer affects what the red timer is going to be next time around. So if I'm going to jump straight away now, the next time is going to be somewhere between 1 and 2 minutes, right? And that increases all the way up to maximum of 30 minutes. See, now my red timer is gone. I can already jump. Yeah, the cyno is going to stay in space for the time that it takes for his cyno to cool down, because it has like a 10-minute activation
Autopilot
timer.
engaged.
But I could have like 2 cynos set up, one in like I was in KTAC 6. I could have one in KTAC 6 and one here in 49 TAC, and I could jump back and forth to them as long as I don't have a red timer. I can just pick up stuff really quickly and ping pong around, and I can do that for as long as the cynos live, kind of, right? Because they can get shot at, and that's basically how you go about using your jump freighter. And you can you can only jump into null and low sec, and you cannot jump into high sec, but you can jump from high sec. So, for instance, you've jumped to a low sec system close to JITA, and your buddy is there waiting for you with the webify trick to web your jump freighter to JITA if you would want that. I personally wouldn't do that, but okay. But you can do that, and then you can grab your stuff in JITA, undock, and jump straight away from the JITA undock to low sec, and then go back to a null sec. But why that I don't really want to fly my my jump freighter anywhere near high sec is because it's so expensive. And there's also like, if you just use this and you're just gating it around, you can't really use the micro warp drive trick because you can't fit it. If you don't have your webifying buddy, they're gonna, if they see you, they're just gonna send people at you and they're just gonna shoot you because you're like a 7 billion-ish kill mail waiting to happen, right? So they'll send those 10 tornadoes just to kill you, to be on a cool kill mail, because they can. That you don't even have to have something in your cargo hold. They'll just shoot you. It's just what happens. So don't preferably don't even fly the jump freighter in high sec unless you really have to. You can also just have the jump freighter jump towards low sec and then use any other means to either empty the jump freighter or fill the jump freighter. Maybe you have a freighter waiting there in low sec, and you use that to ferry across the stuff. And the freighter is less expensive than the jump freighter, right? So that's I'd say a better way to go about it. But yeah, I don't really. Yeah, this is the only thing that I use it for. I just jump from one place to another. I don't use gates. Maybe sometimes I warp it from a structure to a structure, if that is the only bigger ship. Like for instance, I don't have a normal freighter here. Now, if I have to pick up, there's a couple of structures here. See, if I need to pick up something from one of these other structures, yeah, I'll just warp there from this structure to the other. But otherwise, I don't use it to gate around or to use gates or whatnot, because it's just it's too much. It's too valuable. Does that make sense? Are there any more questions about using the jump freighter? I think. Yeah. Go
Any
on.
particular race is better than another?
No, not really. It's kind of the same as with the normal freighters, I'd say. Just pick the one that you find prettiest. There's minor differences in how much that you can put in it. Like for instance, if I simulate this with let's see, with the cargo hold expanders, like this is 356,000. Now if I, where did I put it? Here it is. Here's my other jump freighter. It's a Caldari one, and if I put, like, this has a little bit more, see? But then again, I think this has a little less hit points or something, and maybe it aligns a little bit slower. There's subtle differences, nothing really too major. I do think that the Kaldawi ships in general, I think I might be wrong on that, but in general they tend to have a little bit more cargo hold than the other ships. But it's it's just if like I don't particularly like the look of the Anshar. I do own one, but I mean it's a good ship, but maybe let's see. I do like how the Amar one looks like. So not the Providence, but it's Tech 2 bigger brother, which is here, like the Ark. Like the Ark, I really like the Ark for some reason. It's looks nice, right? But yeah, like I said, there's no real game-breaking differences in the ships. It's just you're probably gonna own not very many of them, I think. So pick one that you like looking at, because if you're using it, then you should enjoy it, right? But yeah, kind of that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what about the prices of isotopes? Is for the fuel? Is it any difference between the races?
I think it depends on the region that you live in. Like at the moment, I live in Delve, which is a Mar space, and if I look at the local market here, oh wait, this is, ouch, bad example. I can't. Well, I could try and see. Um, I'm in a, I'm in Querius now. I was in Delve. Uh, the prices are different now. Um, hydrogen is Mimitar. Why is the I don't know why the Amar is more expensive here, but normally speaking, if you live in Amar space, there's more Amar-based ice to mine, and the isotopes come from ice. So then the Amar fuel should be cheaper, but the market here is not that great. Perhaps that is the case, but I think I could quickly. Let me just quickly check on the internet. In Jita, I mean, you can check prices on. There's a website called Janus. I don't know if you know that, but I'll link it in the. There we go. I'll link it in the chat.
Docking request accepted.
Those are the prices of isotopes, and from the looks of it,
Autopilot disabled.
hydrogen
Waypoint
isotopes
reached.
are cheapest at the moment. But yeah, it also kind of depends on, like, if I go to delve into our local market, probably the Amar isotopes are a little bit cheaper. And it could be, you could factor in the space that you live in with the choice you want to make for your jump freighter. Because if you want to mine your own jump fuel, basically, you can do that. So I could have bought that. I could have sold the Anchar and bought an Arc, and then I can mine Amar Ice, and I don't have to pay anyone money to get Amar jump fuel, because I can just mine it. So that's something to take into consideration as well. But I think the prices are, well, they're not so. They're a little bit different at the moment. Helium isotopes are the most expensive, but it, doesn't really. I think it fluctuates all year round, the prices, so it doesn't really. It wouldn't really affect my choice, actually. Hence why I haven't really sold my Iron Char and bought an Arc. I mean, some people do that, but I just didn't. Does that answer your question a little bit?
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I wanted to know. Yeah, because I was thinking maybe an unshot or an arc. So,
Yeah.
and maybe if I live in Amar, maybe an arc, but I need more skills, so
Yeah.
for that one.
Yeah, you do need. I think you do need. I think you need. Yeah, I'm more afraid of 4, and then you'll probably need. Let's see, skills. Where's the jump? Oh, yeah, jump rate of 1, but level 4 of I'm more afraid of is already is a long train, I think. But yeah, but it's cool. Yeah, to sum up, kind of the whole class in a couple of minutes. It's been a little bit of a long class. I kind of predicted that from the start because we've covered a lot of stuff. So we've got these all these racial or fractional haulers. Most of them just have the 2, right? Just the 2 different ones. They have one like the sigil is quicker to align. They have one like the bestower, which is has more cargo hold capacity. And then you have the Galente, which have a couple of these really cool ones, like the miasmos for ore, the epithal for planetary interaction stuff, and all that kind of stuff. So specialist cargo holds, and like the Minotaur one, the hoarder for the ammo and the gas. So they're really cool because they give you an edge, right? Because they provide like a instant, really big cargo capacity for a certain commodity. So you can kind of buy those and use those if that's the thing that you need to haul, right? You're better off using the hoarder to move some ammo and stuff around than, for instance, buy a badger or something, right? That kind of makes sense. So the and the T1 ships, don't put too much in them. You know, 50 to 100 mil is really maxed, and 100 mil is already too much, actually, because it's a flimsy little ship. We shot at it, right? We were able to blow it up really quickly. So be careful with that. Don't put too much value in it. The T2 ones, they only come in 2 tastes, basically. So if you, let's just say, for instance, we're gonna get the, no, the variation. There we go. This one. Wait, I can just show it here. Yeah. So you got the mastodons, the deep space transport has a really big fleet hangar in it, around like 60,003. It's really you can really beef them out, so they have a lot of hit points. So they can be kind of safe-ish if you just manually jump them. What cost you? Someone's saying in chat that would cost me 800 mil to learn. Is that the jump freighter? You mean? Probably yes, because the freighter skill books are kind of expensive. I think, sadly. Yeah, and then you have ships like the Prowler, like this one, which are the blockade runners, so they can cloak. Never autopilot with these because, like I told you, they're not people are not able to look inside your ship, what's in there, so they can probably always assume that there's something valuable in there, so they'll always shoot it if they see it autopiloting, right? So that's a really important side note. And otherwise, if you do the jumping and the cloaking and the timing correct, then you can easily fit billions of ISK in it and get it to the position where it needs to go safely. Yeah, just be, just practice with it while it's empty or something. See how it goes, the warping and the cloaking and all that. These are really great for that. Yeah, and then the Orca and the Bowhead. The Bowhead, the Bowhead is meant as a transportation thing, but then more for fitted ships. It's really cool for in high sec. I don't really see it used in null sec here. because we have carriers and stuff like that. But you know, you can use it. The Orca, you can kind of repurpose it as a hauling ship. You know, it's kind of like a mining boost ship, of course, but it has loads of cargo space options. So really good ship. And then freighters, uh, like the jump freighter here, and the obelisk, which is the Tech 1 version. They're really slow. If you want to gate them around, please use one of those web buddies. So ask a friend or use a second character, have them web you around space, so you warp off really quickly, and generally just never gate your jump freighter unless you know you really need to. But you know it teleports around from one place to another. It's better to use some jump fuel than to lose a ship, right? So that's kind of the kind of the summary for the for the entire class. Are there any more questions? You can type.
Uh,
Yeah, go ahead.
was in the beginning like covered wormhole transportation part in the video? Will I find it, or
No, no, no.
maybe some tips for it?
Um, I sadly don't really use wormholes a lot because I don't like wormholes. I have shown the where is my bustard with my scanning device? I think Baba, is it this one? Yeah. Yeah, I haven't really gone into that. I think that's a whole other class altogether, wormholes, because you need to scan the wormhole, or you need to have access to the bookmarks where the wormholes are. You need to know where the connections are, so you need to be logged into the website. Probably there's online websites to kind of show you the shortcuts through space. I find wormholes highly unpredictable, and I've lived in wormhole space and I hate it. So I don't really have any tips to use wormholes for hauling, just because I don't do it. Sadly, it's not my preference. Um, if there's like, if I'd rather jump 50 jumps than use a wormhole to go into a wormhole and then use another wormhole to go into low sec and then use that wormhole in that low sec to go to the high tech system that's kind of next to where I want to go. I don't need that extra level of danger. I don't want it. There's people that are so great in it and really adapt in it. You know, they're really great in it and doing it. I'm not great in it. I suck at it. I don't like wormholes. So sorry. I can't give you any tips. Yeah. So we'll probably have to do a completely other class on wormholes about that, because there's a whole other stuff involved in finding the right wormholes, knowing which website to go to, and which bookmark folder to be in, and all that kind of stuff. There's a whole other level of preparation, and I don't see. Yeah, go ahead.
What about Pochburner
Uh,
Express thing?
Poshfin Express was really great when the well, it could still be great, but these days you have to wait out a timer before you can use the filament. And I think if I look at, like, you don't want to use these like these higher ones, like these 15 ones. You don't want these. You because the timer is longer. So if I, for instance, compare attributes, yeah. So like this one is a delay of 1 minute, and this one's a delay of 30 seconds. So we'll scratch that one. So you use the filament, and it gives. And back in the day, it would just use the thing instantly, and you would go to Poshfin, and then you would get like a Poshfin jump timer kind of ish. So you would have to wait out 15 minutes or so before you could use another Pochven filament. And that was kind of easy for ships that could cloak, right? So I did it with the Orca, for instance. The Orca has high slots. You use one of those Pochven filaments. You went to Pochven. You uh, you cloak up so they don't know you. Yeah, I mean they can see that you're there, but they don't see you on D-scan, right? And then when the time is done, you decloak, use another Pochven filament, and you go back to you'll have to use this border filament. So then you go to either low sec or high sec, something like that. I don't know, you know. But these days, you need to wait out the timer. So you use the filament, it kind of lights up a beacon next to you that people can warp to, and you need to stay there for 30 seconds, and then it goes. So it might be nice for, I mean, it might be nice if you're hauling something maybe cheapish, but I'm not going to send my Orca to Pochven for fun. I'll only send my Orca to Pochven maybe when I have to evacuate all of Nullsec, and that would be the only way to get my Orca out, right? Yeah. It's that warpable, that comes on the overview, I think, or you can scan it down, one of the two. It's that they can just, see you. You have to sit there for 30 seconds. That might be too long. But you can do it. Um, but yeah, you also don't know where you're gonna end up though. That's also a little bit like if you just want to get out of nullsec or something, then you can do it. You go to Pochven and you go somewhere close to highsec, and you're out, right? And then you can maybe do the rest of the way, maybe through wormhole, or maybe you just jump the gates until you're there. But yeah, that. It's not my preferred way of traveling, but you can do it. Did that answer the question a little bit?
Yeah, that's good enough. I didn't know that they've nerfed it a bit.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. If no one has any more questions, then
I want to
yeah.
ask about the cyno.
Yes.
When I used my cyno, is there should I use like multi-character, or one character is only enough to move my cyno from station to station when I
Um.
want to go to the second one?
I don't have like a high sec connection route set up from nullsec to highsec right now, but I did back in the day, and I used multiple characters. So I had a couple of alt characters on my accounts, like I had three set up. So I would log in the first character, and I would jump to him, and then I would wait a little bit, and I would log in the second one. I would, and then it would speed up the time a lot. You can also just do it with one, but it'll take you a lot more time, basically, because you'll have to light the cyno, and if you use the venture, the cycle time of the cyno is 10 minutes, so you'll already have to wait 10 minutes before the cyno goes down, basically, and then you need to travel to the next point on the route, which might be 15 jumps away, and you'll have to hope that in those 15 jumps your cyno is not going to get taken out by a gate camp or something. So there's a whole extra layer of effort that goes into it when you just use one character for your cynos, right? Um, but again, you can. It's not optimal. I usually use like for instance, for instance now it wasn't a whole lot of jumps for me to move my cyno character, and we've been talking already a little bit, so the cyno character's already docked up again, so now we can go back and light the cyno back home. But if it was just me picking up something here and then I want to go back home, I would just have two players ready, like two pilots, and I would have one cyno at the pickup point and one cyno for back home, and I would just go, jump, pick up, jump, done, right? And then I just leave the cynos there in space, come back a little bit later, dock them up. But yeah, you can't kind of move your cyno along the route. The danger is that you lose it along the route. Yeah, and it takes a lot more time, of course, as well. Because probably, let me just quickly check. It is, yeah, like it's 73 jumps from here, the cheetah, and that. Let me check how that translates in jumps for this ship. So if I go to the .lam website that I linked, I choose the onshore, and I'm just gonna put in this system, so 49 TAC as a start location, and I'm obviously not able to go to Cheetah because I can't physically jump into HiSec, but I'm just gonna set Cheetah as a start point. That's gonna be easier for calculating it quickly. It'll take me oh, that's funny. Oh,
18, right?
it's one jump. That's good. From here, actually.
That's impossible.
No, let's see. So that's 73 jumps, and if I check the bubble here, then where is Jita should be. I don't know where Jita is on the map. Don't know if I can.
It's in the middle of the map. You are now like
wait, it's
around
over there. I don't.
Delphi. Yeah.
Oh, I chose the wrong. I chose the wrong 49 TAC system. I'm really sorry. Let me check the. Let me use the right one. I chose the one in the wrong region. So let me. There's probably there's two 49 TAC systems. So it is at least. It's like 7 jumps, and it's around 150,000 isotopes as well. So it's all the way over to there. So that's at the very least 150 million ISK that way, and then 150 million ISK back. So it's 300 mil for a round trip, basically. And yeah. And you'll probably
Which is like if you do surface, it's not worth it, right? Unless you want to transfer your stuff.
Well, yeah, sometimes the service might even be cheaper, but that depends on
Yeah.
that depends on the person that's picking up your stuff, of course. I mean, sometimes I need stuff from Jita, and it's like really low volume but high value, and I don't really want to send a ship to Jita and pick it up and then warp all the way back to. I don't want to fly those jumps, right? I don't want to do that. So then I'll just happily pay somebody, I don't know, 50 million ISK to just get me the stuff, right? Just and I'll be done with it. And but yeah, if you really want to, do it yourself, then you need to make your trips worthwhile as well. Kinda. It would be a little bit silly if you mined a lot of ice. Maybe you mine 500 million ISK worth of ice blocks. And you're like, oh cool, I'm gonna sell this in Jita, and then you jump over to Jita, use 300 million ISK worth of jump fuel, and you can sell it for, then you can sell it, and you'll have 200 mil profit. It's not really optimal, I think. So you need to kind of also, kind of be sensible about what you wanna jump all the way back up to high sec if you want to do it yourself, which is, you know, it's perfectly fine. But you'll have to set up all these. Yeah, like 7 jumps is if you want to do that with one pilot, that's gonna take you like a whole day or something um, to go back and forth, because that cyno pilot has to jump. Well, maybe not 73 jumps, but at least loads of jumps, right? And hopefully your cyno pilot lives. So yeah, then you want to have people in place already. So for instance, you could you'll have to do it once, right? Fly the cyno ships to the locations, the midpoints of the route that you want to use, and what you can do then is you fill up the jump freighter with extra cyno ships. So you put extra ventures and extra fittings and extra liquid ozone in your freighter, in your jump freighter, and then as you jump towards the stations, that there, you know, there's always only a single cyno at that point. But if it dies, you have to you have to travel a long distance to get a new one. So just have stuff in your jump freighter, and as you jump back from high sec, drop off extra ships and extra fuel, and keep doing that. Like you'll always lose cyno ships eventually, so keep having spare jump stuff in your jump freighter. I think, well, I don't have them in this one right now because they were. I think I left them in KTAC 6, but you know, for me now to grab a new one in KTAC 6 is easy because it's just 2 jumps for me. But yeah, otherwise just always have, even if it's just 2 ventures with fittings, have them in your, you know, in your jump freighter. So when you lose a cyno, you can replace it instantly, and you can go back again, right? So so it doesn't really break up the established jump route that you have. Yeah, and you'll, you know, you can jump to structures like this one, like the upwell structures. They'll always kind of be safe because you can dock up kind of straight away, and you've got standings with these other people, so you know you can dock. And otherwise, you'll have to find low sec systems that have a station in them. And there's a, oh yeah, the final advice actually, because that's something like if you jump to a structure, an upwell structure, and you dock, and you undock again, you're tethered, right? And there's like a really long docking ring as well. Like if I view the outside, I think you can kind of see the lights. Yeah, you can see the lights of the docking ring here, right? They're all around. It's really big. That means that once you exit, you're pretty safe. You can just exit the thing, and you can wait for the other cyno to go on, and you can jump to it. Now there's also there's also NPC stations that don't have a really big docking ring as that this one has. They have really small docking rings, so when you exit the structure, you are already outside the range that you can dock up straight away again. And that's kind of where it becomes dangerous. Like this one will kind of be okay. This one's not okay. So let's just look at these two structures. So this is an NPC station, and you can kind of see the docking ring as well here, right? And it's really tight against the structure, but you don't exit from the side, you exit from the bottom. And there's enough room or space or whatnot, however you want to call it, downwards for you to slow down and still be safe to dock up straight again when there's something amiss, right? Maybe you undock your jump freighter and someone undocks a combat ship, you know, you don't want to wait. Then you just want to dock straight back up again because you want to have that cargo safe. Now this one, this Minotaur one, this one's going to be very, very difficult because here the undock is at the side, and as you can see, there's not much room left here. It's kind of the length of your freighter or your jump freighter basically. So once you exit here, you're already going past the docking ring really quickly, and you need to be in like, I don't know, really close by or at 0 or 2,500 meters to be able to dock there. And if you're like maybe you're 5 kilometers out accidentally, and then someone undocks and puts webs on your freighter, and your freighter is already so slow, and then your freighter is only flying at 10, 20 meters a second, it's never going to be, it could be too late for the freighter to go back into the station, right? So avoid these. This is like, only use this if you really can't use anything else.
Like giving a free kill.
Sorry? Well,
It's just like giving a free kill to that person.
yeah. So the Minotaur stations, they are the worst because it's just there's so few room, right? The best ones are the Caldari ones. I don't really don't really have. Yeah, I do have one. Like I don't. How does this one look actually? This is kind of okay. This is okay because you exit here, and there's loads of there's loads of space because the docking ring's there, so that's good too. No, I wanted this one, I think. Yeah, like these are great because there's loads of space. See, you exit here. There's loads of space going forward there. The Concord Academy is also, it's a different one, different model, but you kind of get the idea, right? You exit here, the docking ring exit is here. There's so much space, right? So Caldari ones are really great. The Minotaur ones are bad. The Amar ones are kind of okay, and the Galenta ones are also kind of okay. So there's I don't know if there's any. This is a Amar one or a Minotaur one. Is it? Yeah, same story. See, kind of different base, but it's still shitty exit, right? It's just this is another Minotaur one. This is same. It's even worse. You exit here, and you're already outside. See, this one's a no-go. This is really a no-go because you're probably going to be exiting out the big one because you have a big ship. So yeah, that's kind of last piece of advice that I want to give you when you want to pick stations. Making your jump route. I think like I've been talking for almost 3 hours. I think it's a very good moment now to stop. If you have more questions, don't be shy, and please just send me a direct message or on Discord, or send me an in-game email or whatnot, and I can help you. I'll stop the recording for now.